So we're going to be looking at the business part of real estate, introduction to real estate business, right? So because real estate is a very broad word, it encompasses a lot of things, right? In as much as you will believe with me that real estate, a very little or a concise definition of real estate uh, is land or anything on it. Real estate, land or anything on it. So if you go by this definition, you will believe with me that there is everybody is involved in land or anything on it. Nobody lives in a bush, and even if you live in a bush is also a land. So whether you are living in the bush or you live in a home, you will also have to believe and agree with me on this definition that real estate is land or anything on it. So then let's quickly go into the business, because that's what I want to discuss on this video, the business parts of real estate. How can people make money through land or anything on it? How can people make money on land or anything on it? But then before I actually dive into this, I would like to do a little introduction. This is my 7th to 8th video on this channel, but then I have not told you my story of how I was able to leave the previous work I was doing to keying into this real estate space and then trying to grow wealth through real estate, right? My name is Collins, Dim Collins, and this video is brought to you by Housing Professors Empire. As I always say, that we are very much intentional and committed to not just bringing real estate opportunities, but delivering value and making sure that all our clients, everybody around us, whether you are a friend or friends, my friends, and friend to our company as an organization, you are making right decisions when it comes to real estate investments, right? So I moved from Lagos last year, November 9th. I cannot forget that date, right? I moved from Lagos to come to Abuja, basically for real estate. Before now, while I was in school, all throughout my school period, I have always been a marketer, an online marketer. So I have my website, I have built a website, and through that, I have sold a lot of things. I have marketed for networking companies. I have also sold personal products, skincare products. I have sold drugs. I mean, not hard drugs now. I mean, supplement drugs. And as well, I've sold kitchen items. Some of you that know me, that maybe some of my customers that have purchased kitchen items from me may also be watching this video. And I sell them. I don't make gains that is lower than 100,000. I don't sell any product that I'm not making gain up to 100,000. After removing my ad cost, and also removing my delivery cost and everything, I should be making up to 100,000. Yeah, and I do this because I work directly with importers. You know, some of the products I've imported myself, and some of them I work with those who import the products. So I get it on a very low price. Sometimes these things we have in Nigeria, for instance, one of the products I think the first product I ever sold in 2018, 2017 to 18 was a blender machine. That blender was sold for 6,000 naira in China. Sold for 6,000 in China. Then those that import from China and sell to Nigerians sell it at the rates of 23,000. That was as of then. So I buy from these people who sell at 23 and sell as high as 55,000. That is when I started making money through this from e-commerce, right? E-commerce, that is what it's called, e-commerce. So that's, I want to just draw this or tell a little story about me so that you know why I quitted from this to pursue a higher business, and how I am able to replicate what I have been doing in the e-commerce space down to what I'm doing currently. That's why this is necessary for people that want to make money through real estate, either as an investor or as a broker. So we'll still explain what broker is, what brokerage firm is, and what investorship or investor is in the real estate space, right? So as of 2018, I was just doing this. So from this, I started selling other products, like yam pounder. I sold that for almost even 3 years, and people were purchasing. And guess what? I was having orders. Sometimes I have 20, 25. Sometimes I even go and off my ad because of controlling the orders becomes so hectic, and customers are, sometimes they request for products, and the process of the way we do it in Nigeria seems to be so stressful, because you have to buy, you have to do a Webby. But then what is good is that I was able to deploy a process by which I have, in the 36 states of Nigeria, I have delivery agents in the 36 states. So it makes it simple for me. What I just do is I made it autopilot by working with the importers. I don't need to go to the market. I just give instruction to them. They move this item, get to the delivery, and then down to the customer. And I get my money between 6, 12 to 24 hours, depending on the destination of that particular product. So as of last year beginning, when I graduated, I actually graduated last year, beginning of last year. So I graduated from the university, and that was all this I was doing was funding my lifestyle during my school days. I was doing well, paying my fees and all of that. So I came back to Lagos because that's where I base. So I came back to Lagos and continued what I was doing. I was still doing this as of last year beginning till the ending of last year, because if you remember, I said I moved to Abuja on 9th of November. 9th of November, I moved to Abuja, right? So I have been doing this, and I was doing this very well, making my little money. At least I can boast of making up to 3 to 4 million naira every month. Every month. Either it goes, between that 2, 3 to 4 million if the market goes well, if I'm able to deliver. That doesn't mean I don't have decline of orders, right? I used to have some decline, but then I use the ones that are doing well to cover up. So I did this till around June, July. A friend of mine called me, a very good friend. I have known him since I came to Lagos. Mr. Henry, he's the housing professor. The housing professor, he was already a broker as of then. He was bearing the name housing professor, and he was a broker selling luxury houses in Lagos. He advertised luxury houses, both Lagos and Abuja. So he called me. I got a call from him. He said, Collins, see, there is a bigger money to make in real estate, right? He told me there is a bigger money to make in real estate, that this I'm making will not make me a millionaire, a billionaire, will not make me. I will just be revolving around 4 million, 5 million. At the long run of the year, you could just have 10 million naira. But I mean, we would think we were making money, till he called me and told me how a commission that is in real estate. As of then, he moved to Abuja the same period I finished from university. So he moved down to Abuja because of a client, a deal worth 690 million naira. That's the deal. And he was to be paid just 5% of this money. 5%, sometimes 5% from the client, 5% from the developer, the person that owned the building. So that made him to move from Lagos down to Abuja just for this deal, right? And when he communicated to me, this is so massive, and eventually the client paid for this house. I sat down and when the money dropped, I want us to be able to calculate just 5% of this money. 5% of this money. 5% of this money that they paid him was 34 million naira. That is 5% of this money. So 34 million or 34 million 500,000, as the case may be. So this is a money he just made from just one client's head. He was paid this money by the developer, and then the client was stubborn somehow. But then some people can go as far as getting 5% from the developer and 5% from the client. So making this almost 600 and something to 700 million for a product that you don't own, a product that is not yours, just because you brought somebody and the person paid for a house. You just got this money instantly. And he told me, because of course he knows that I do this very well. I'm very good at this. I do this e-commerce because I run Google Ads. I run YouTube ads, and I run Facebook adverts and Instagram as well. So these 4 platforms was what I'm very, very good at this, right? So, and he told me that these clients came from Facebook. I said, wow, this is what I know how to do. And that was the reason why he called me and said, look, I should stop this. This is so stressful. We undergo a lot of stress in this. That if I channel my energy from this that I'm doing, e-commerce, getting 4.33 million, and at the long run of everything, at the year, you are just revolving around money without seeing back money to do something, right? He said, let us focus on this. Just imagine just one client can give you this. Imagine yourself being I told you that I get 26, that in fact, I have gotten 60 orders in a day on a product that have the lowest gain of it is 100,000. Some of them gave me almost 500 at just from one customer. Some of them are not just 100, some of them 200, some 300, and then the rest. So he told me that this is not money, that this is money. So I have to move quickly. He told me this around July, June. I did not take action. No. I was still, revolving around this, and I was happy. But when it was done on me that this is real was when he got paid. And not just that he got paid, but then as of August, he got a very massive office and say, if you are still in Lagos, then I am on my own, and he's a very good friend of mine. So I decided then I decided to move down to Abuja on last year, November 2024. And that is how he have to quickly move from being a broker, because the money is huge, to fighting to become a developer. And that is how he now told me that, look, we have to go into developing, because there is money here, quite all right. But then he opened my mind to the business part of this, that it goes beyond this, because the owner, the person that built this house, he told me how this person that is selling a house of 690 million naira have made almost 400. He said that this house was not built more than 80 million naira to 70 million. That's crazy. Real estate. So I said, these are the real criminals of this country. I said to myself, these are the criminals, not those carrying gun. But he said, yes, they are criminals. We need to be criminal. But sorry for that word. It's not criminal. It is how real estate appreciates. The person must have got this land for maybe 25 million, depending on the location, because this house was sold as Guzape, and those that knows Guzape very well, just Asokoro extension, just the house is not far from the Asokoro where the government lodges are. So that's why this house was up to this. So the person must have built this house with, got the land, 25 million, and all the buildings arriving at 80 or 90 million naira. And then after 2 years, that's one thing about real estate. At the first listing of this house, he listed it at 110 million. When he was still on foundation, then he left it. Till he completed this house, he was increasing the money. Even when people refused to buy this house, he was still adding money to it. That is how real estate works. He kept on adding money till the rightful owner of this house saw it and saw how the house has moved from 110 million, 200 million, 300, and then sold it. And then the person still saw it at 690 million and paid for it. That is the power of investment that pays, right? So we got into business, and then between this time, remember I was still in this, so I did not leave this completely because that was funding my lifestyle. I have not made any sale on this part on real estate, but then he said, let's use this skill you have in a proper direction to be able to get same results that is higher than what you are earning. Because even as of then, I discovered a product that I was buying at 1.3 million, 1.350, and I was selling it as high as 300, and selling it at as high as 280 million. I was getting a gain of up to 1.4 million from that product. So because I have the power of sales, I already have the skill on how to sell. And since real estate is big money, though I have been doing this on a smaller money of some amount, but then I know that there are some lands that are selling up to 1.3 million, 3 million, 4 million, and all of that. So I have the ability to be able to move this. And him himself, he have also closed the deal on this same online space that I'm good at. That's why we have to come together, and then that's his name that was Housing Professor changed to Housing Professors. Housing Professors Empire, because it's no longer him alone, but I have joined him in the business. Housing Professors, no longer professor, to form something that is stronger. The S came in to form Housing Professors Empire, that is into developing site and services and the likes. So, and that is how I got myself into the business of real estate, and we are moving higher. Done our first estate, going to the second and third one, which we are still doing our due diligence on them. But then we have our estate now. We launched around March, have made good number of sales, expanded the estates, and it's still moving, right? So the estate is almost about to be sold off. That estate's name is Zenith Villa. That's our first estate, Zenith Villa at Karishi. So for some of you that are watching this video and you want to key into this project, my contact is showing on the screen. You contact me, then I tell you how you can make this money, because I have been making it, and I will tell you how real estate business works and how you can become a very smart investor doing what I'm doing, creating wealth and building wealth for yourself. So that's about me, and that's how I got into real estate business, still building. I want to say this is a secret between myself and some other persons that are very close to me. I have a goal that I want to have a customer base of what I've done in the e-commerce space. I want to brag to myself that I will have up to, I did 60 orders in e-commerce one time, and I want to replicate that. I want you to go to the comment section and type in, is that possible? So is it possible to have up to 60 persons ready to pay you? In real estate, that the product is up to 600 and something, but that's not the product I'm selling, right? I'm just selling a product, land between 4.5 million, 5 million, 6.5 million, 7.5 million, and the like. So it's something I've been doing. So I will still come back to this channel to share my testimonies of how I will arrive at getting 60 clients to pay me for real estate. I will do it, and the video will show here one day, and it will not be long. I don't even want this year to count down without me at least coming back to this channel to show you, let me say, 20 good paid clients, and I will be showing that with proofs of their paid, the money they paid, and when they paid. I'll be sharing that in this channel. I must replicate what I've done in e-commerce space down to real estate.